As they approached the entrance to the three great mountain ranges, Xiao Yan and MultiSubs appeared. "What's the situation?" Xiao Yan asked. "It's still no good. I've thoroughly inspected this entrance. There's nothing wrong with the door itself, but someone has altered the passage. We can't get in, and neither can they come out," Xiao Yan replied after inspecting the entrance a few more times, shaking his head in frustration. "How can that be? Wasn't everything fine before?" MultiSubs frowned in confusion. "It was fine before. You could enter using the 3 wooden tokens. But now, it seems someone has tampered with it. No matter what techniques I try, I can't get in." Xiao Yan shook his head again. Even someone as strong as Xiao Yan was powerless in this situation. "Is there really no way?" MultiSubs asked, unwilling to give up. "There's no way. Someone inside the 3 great mountain ranges must have altered it. Unless they undo it themselves, we're stuck," Xiao Yan explained. "What if we force our way in?" MultiSubs' face darkened. Inside were some of the most outstanding disciples of the human hall over the past few years. If they were to perish here, MultiSubs would feel guilty for the rest of his life. "No. If we break in by force, one misstep could send the entire space into a time rift. Even a Docian would not survive that." Xiao Yan immediately dismissed the idea. "What should we do now?" The mention of a time rift sent a chill down MultiSubs' spine. Even Docians feared such things, let alone mere Do dislike them. "We wait. You must trust your disciples." Xiao Yan suddenly smiled after speaking. "Xiao Yan, since you've managed to kill the twin ghost emperors, let's hope you can work another miracle this time," MultiSubs said, closing his eyes, though his attention remained sharply focused on the entrance, ready to react to the slightest disturbance. This guy, Xiao Yan could only shake his head, following suit by resting as MultiSubs did. Meanwhile, atop Boundless Mountain, the blood-red vortex was slowly taking shape. Soon, the figure within fully emerged from it. As the figure stepped out, Night Cat finally saw it for what it was, a being resembling an elf. Her devilish figure, delicate oval face, and flawless, smooth skin were complemented by silver-white wings that trembled slightly, giving her a unique allure. "There's something strange about her aura. She might be the true ruler of Falling Spirit Mountain," Xiao Yan whispered from his hidden position. "Isn't the ruler of Falling Spirit Mountain that golden-haired child?" MultiSubs asked, confused. "No, though the golden-haired child is terrifyingly strong. He's not the true master. I can sense a subtle connection between this woman and the entire Falling Spirit Mountain," Xiao Yan explained, shaking his head. The spirit of Falling Spirit Mountain, EngSubs glanced at Xiao Yan before speaking. "The spirit of Falling Spirit Mountain?" Xiao Yan and MultiSubs both asked in unison, clearly puzzled. "Yes, the spirit of Falling Spirit Mountain. I've heard from my master that Falling Spirit Mountain is special. Not only does it give birth to death beasts with magic cores and essence blood, but it can also produce even higher-level beings. The spirit of Falling Spirit Mountain. There is only one spirit of Falling Spirit Mountain in existence, and she is the true ruler here. The kings of the other 3 mountain ranges are like ants before her," EngSubs added. "I wouldn't be so sure. If that golden-haired child dared to summon her, he must have some powerful tricks up his sleeve. Otherwise, he's just asking for trouble," Xiao Yan countered, shaking his head. "Let's see. Something does feel off here," MultiSubs agreed, shaking her head before they all focused their attention back on the golden-haired child. As the trio fell silent, Heart Rock, which had been dormant within Xiao Yan, suddenly spoke up. "It seems fate is on my side. Xiao Yan, if you're too exhausted this time, don't blame me. Blame your ancestor Xiao Mu and that flame mantra. Since this flame mantra hasn't absorbed the true sacred flame, it's trying to devour me on its own, and I'm forced to act. Just wait. This time, I will succeed." With those words, Heart Rock vanished, gathering its strength. Although the flame mantra's fire-attributed Do Chi tried to erode Heart Rock, it was resisted. Xiao Yan remained unaware of this struggle within him. "So, this is the spirit of Falling Spirit Mountain," Night Cat murmured in awe. "Hee hee." The woman emerging from the blood-red vortex let out a playful giggle as the vortex disappeared. Then, she laughed again, her eyes sparkling mischievously. "Watch out." The golden-haired child's face grew tense as he realized something was wrong. Falling Spirit Mountain was formless and shapeless. For it to suddenly take the form of a woman was a bizarre occurrence. But before the child could ponder further, the spirit of Falling Spirit Mountain vanished into the sky, taking the blood clouds with her. "Big sister, will you play with me?" A sweet voice echoed from behind Night Cat. "No." Before Night Cat could fully comprehend the danger, the spirit of Falling Spirit Mountain had already appeared silently just a few meters behind her. Suddenly, Night Cat felt dizzy, her strength seemingly drained as if her entire body had frozen. Big sister, what's wrong?" The spirit of Falling Spirit Mountain blinked her large, enchanting eyes at Night Cat, curiosity in her voice. Cough, cough. Night Cat nearly buckled under the pressure, ready to submit. "Long time no see. It seems you've forgotten about me," the golden-haired child said to the spirit of Falling Spirit Mountain, his voice filled with hatred. "I don't remember you, but I know you're the bad guy," the spirit teased playfully. "Haha, bad guy? Only the weak care about good and evil. The strong only care about victory or defeat." The child laughed scornfully, his voice dripping with contempt. Tension immediately filled the air between them, as they both sensed someone approaching. "Someone's coming," Night Cat muttered, noticing the space around him trembling violently. "You selfish brat. You summoned the spirit of Falling Spirit Mountain just to get yourself killed? Don't drag us down with you." A disgruntled voice echoed from the sky. Slowly, a massive beast with countless eyes descended, exuding a terrifying aura. Heaven-Eye giant beast, you sure didn't waste any time," the golden-haired child remarked indifferently. "He's here too. With such a grand event, I knew he wouldn't miss it." The golden-haired child glanced at the giant beast before turning to the other side. There, ripples formed in the air as an enormous, translucent beast with a faint, colorless halo emerged. "Is that the five-element beast?" Xiao Yan, who had been hiding nearby, felt his heart surge with excitement. "So that's the five-element beast?" Xiao Yan's lips curled into a faint smile, a wave of heat radiating from him. He had promised his ancestor Xiao Xin long ago, back on the continent of Doqi, that one day he would help him return to the world. Back then, due to the limitations of the lower dimension, Xiao Yan hadn't been able to fully resolve his ancestor's situation. But fortunately, the last trace of Xiao Xin's soul had been preserved within Xiao Yan's body, giving him the ability to resurrect him now. Remember, the Do-Di continent is not the same as the lower planes like the continent of Do-Chi. Here, if you want to revive someone with just a sliver of their soul, you'll need these items. First, the shape-shifting soul-reviving pill. Second, the body of a Do-Di expert. Third, a magic core from a Do-Di level magical beast. And fourth, the flame must be a sacred flame. The shape-shifting soul-reviving pill is an Emperor-class second-rank pill capable of bringing back the dead, even if only a fragment of a soul remains. It's a divine pill. As for the body of a Do-Di expert, that's easier to handle. However, the strength of the body will heavily influence the limits of the revival, so the stronger the body, the better. You already have an earth pill ready for the Do-Di level magic core. What you're missing now is the technique to refine the pill. If you get the chance, head to the Incense Pavilion and obtain the five-element beast's essence blood and magic core. That will be crucial for reviving your ancestor in the future. The voice of Xiao Yan's master, King Golden Dragon, echoed in his mind. Even my master has nothing but praise for the unique properties of the five-element beast's magic core and essence blood. I must begin preparations for obtaining a Do-Di expert's body soon. But the shape-shifting soul-reviving pill, that's still tricky. I may be a second-rank Imperial-class alchemist, but I haven't broken through yet. It'll take some time. Xiao Yan calculated his next steps in his mind. Xiao Yan, are you okay? Mu Yingying gently tapped him on the shoulder. She had noticed Xiao Yan zoning out while staring at the five-element beast. I'm fine, Xiao Yan replied with a smile before returning his gaze to the beast. The five-element beast was now surrounded by layers of transparent ripples, though its massive golden tortoiseshell and limbs were clearly visible. This creature's defense must be formidable. It's not going to be easy, Xiao Yan sensed its strength and remarked. Xiao Yan, are you thinking of attacking the five-element beast? Xian, who seemed to have a knack for reading minds, asked him directly. How did you know? Xiao Yan was slightly surprised. I need its shell. You can have the magic core and essence blood. What do you say? Xian offered with a playful smile. Really? Xiao Yan was a bit skeptical. The five-element beast was a formidable creature, a late 7-star Do-D. Its magic core and essence blood, tempered by 5 different elements, were far more potent than ordinary ones. What do you say? Xian pressed. Deal. Xiao Yan agreed readily. He wasn't one to hesitate. That tortoise shell is something special. Heart Rock, the spirit within Xiao Yan, whispered, having caught on to something in Xian's words. However, Xiao Yan didn't hear Heart Rock's warning. Xiao Yan's decision to team up with Xian was partially influenced by her strength. Being Elder Qing's disciple, she was incredibly powerful. With her joining him, his chances of success were much higher. I'm in too, Mu Yingying chimed in after seeing Xiao Yan and Xian reach an agreement. Hey, we've already split the loot. There's nothing left for you. Xian teased. No need. Consider this my repayment for helping me break through the 6-star Do-D life tribulation. Mu Yingying smiled at Xiao Yan. All right then. Stay alert. Those guys are about to make their move, Xiao Yan nodded. Boom, boom, boom. The five-element beast and the heaven-eyed giant beast descended simultaneously onto the peak of Boundless Mountain, filling the area with tension and chaos. Indeed, I've been waiting for this day for a long time. The playful demeanor of the heaven-eyed giant beast faded, replaced by a heavy seriousness as its gaze slowly fixed on the woman before him, the spirit of Falling Spirit Mountain. You two sure have quite the ambitions. The uniqueness of Falling Spirit Mountain makes it the perfect place for us to survive. Just being here is a blessing in itself. You better watch yourselves, or you might bite off more than you can chew. The five-element beast snorted coldly. Humph. Five-element beast, don't think I don't know what you're plotting. You could live here for 100,000 years. With your body's toughness, surviving the 100,000-year tribulation wouldn't be a problem. But us? Can we wait that long? Even if we do survive for 100,000 years, what could we possibly rely on to surpass the tribulation? The countless eyes of the heaven-eyed giant beast locked onto the five-element beast, filled with hatred. So, you've already joined forces with him? The five-element beast seemed unsurprised, as if it had expected this. That's right. We've come to an agreement. But I promised him that after we defeat the spirit of Falling Spirit Mountain, I would leave this place with him, the golden-haired child said with a slow smile. Ha ha ha. Heaven-eyed giant beast, you've been tricked by this guy. His nature is something you should know better than I do. Teaming up with him is like putting your head in a lion's mouth. The five-element beast sneered. Exactly. It's because I know his true nature that I've decided to follow him. This is our one chance to go wild. If we succeed, we'll escape this wretched place. If we fail, we'll vanish into the heavens and earth. That's better than living in cowardice. The heaven-eyed giant beast's many eyes gleamed with strange power. Since you two have made up your minds, I won't stand in your way. But I won't join the fight either. I'll just be a witness to your battle. The five-element beast smiled slowly. Let's begin. The heaven-eyed giant beast, aware that the five-element beast had its own agenda, wasted no more words and turned to the golden-haired child. We have to go all out. I used up all the power of the death beasts in Falling Spirit Mountain just to summon the spirit of Falling Spirit Mountain. If she escapes this time, there may never be another chance. This is our one and only shot, the golden-haired child said gravely. Understood. The heaven-eyed giant beast nodded. Have you two finished discussing? If so, come at me together. The spirit of Falling Spirit Mountain, now vastly different from before, spoke with disdain toward the golden-haired child and the heaven-eyed giant beast. A great battle was about to erupt. Has she regained her memories? The heaven-eyed giant beast was stunned, its gaze filled with gravity. When the spirit of falling Spirit Mountain first appeared, she was a memoryless woman. But as the three, heaven-eyed giant beast, the golden-haired child, and the five-element beast, talked, the spirit's power and memories had been gradually awakening. Her once innocent appearance had transformed into something far more alluring, her body now radiating an aura of mysterious, colorless light. It seems my long slumber caused my memories to fade. But it doesn't matter, I remember now. Her eyes gleamed with fierce intensity as she locked onto the golden-haired child, as though she could devour him alive. Damn it! The golden-haired child cursed under his breath, remembering all too well the events of the past. I remember you. You were that little fox back then. When you were first born on Falling Spirit Mountain, you were a weak death beast, surrounded by many stronger ones. If I hadn't saved you by chance, you'd have been, well, gone by now. But look at you now, still going down the wrong path. The spirit of Falling Spirit Mountain shook her head slightly. Haha, the wrong path? Back then, the weak me survived only because of you and Nightcat. If it weren't for you two, I would have ended up as someone else's meal. Ever since then, I've trained day and night, using every means possible to grow stronger. Also that, one day, those who tormented me would meet their end. The golden-haired child's voice was chilling. So, this is the three-tailed demon fox. Legend has it that the three-tailed demon fox possesses 3 lives and certain innate advantages, though I'm not sure if that's true. The countless eyes of the heaven-eyed giant beast flickered as it pondered. The three-tailed demon fox is a rare ancient creature. Their power is measured by their tails. The weakest have only 1, while the strongest have 9. It's said that the number of tails reflects how many lives they possess. Xian's voice cut in softly. It's about to start. The three-tailed demon fox and the heaven-eyed giant beast both know the longer they delay, the worse it will be for them. After all, the spirit of Falling Spirit Mountain is practically its ruler. Xiao Yan analyzed quickly, sensing the rising tension. Heaven-eyed giant beast, make your move. Don't worry, the rewards I promised won't be lacking. The next moment, the golden-haired child shouted, and his body began to transform. Boom, boom, boom. A series of explosions echoed as the golden-haired child's human form vanished, replaced by a snow-white fox. The fox's eyes glowed red with a terrifying killing intent, and even the slightest movement of its powerful limbs caused the space around it to tremble. Go! The heaven-eyed giant beast, fully aware of the three-tailed demon fox's temper, wasted no time. Its massive body shifted instantly, sending a powerful energy palm strike directly at the spirit of Falling Spirit Mountain. It seems the rules of Falling Spirit Mountain are due for a rewrite. The spirit of Falling Spirit Mountain remarked casually, though her eyes grew more vigilant. Despite being the spirit of the mountain, she knew better than to underestimate both the three-tailed demon fox and the heaven-eyed giant beast, 2 opponents whose strength was undeniable. The three-tailed demon fox had already reached the level of an 8-star Do-D, though its exact ranking was uncertain. Meanwhile, the heaven-eyed giant beast had fully attained the peak of a perfect 7-star Do-D. Even the 5-element beast, while lacking in offensive power, boasted the formidable defense of a late 7-star Do-D. Humph! The spirit of Falling Spirit Mountain let out a cold snort. In her palm, a strange, colorless energy manifested. With a simple push, she deflected the heaven-eyed giant beast's terrifying attack as if it were nothing more than a probing strike. After all, the real assault would have to come from the three-tailed demon fox. Boom, boom, boom. The three-tailed demon fox transformed into its true fox form, its aura and presence dramatically intensifying. In the next moment, it swung one of its enormous tails toward the spirit of Falling Spirit Mountain. That tail, it used to be his weakness, but over the years, he's turned it into his most powerful weapon. Impressive, murmured the 5-element beast. It had lived on the Falling Spirit Mountain for ages and knew the dynamics of the 3 great mountain ranges better than anyone. The only ones it truly feared were the heaven-eyed giant beast, the three-tailed demon fox, and the spirit of falling Spirit Mountain. Other death beasts didn't even faze it. Though it feared these three, the five-element beast's confidence lay in its unmatched defensive abilities. With its five-element shell, even if the three joined forces, the five-element beast was confident it could hold its ground, though victory was another matter entirely. Boom, boom, boom. The three-tailed demon fox's massive tail slammed down, and the spirit of falling Spirit Mountain's delicate face showed a hint of seriousness. Once again, that strange, colorless energy surrounded her, countering the fox's attack. The three engaged in constant exchanges, but anyone watching could tell that this was merely a warm-up phase. Meanwhile, over at the other two mountain ranges within the falling Spirit Mountain, the group led by DDUI and Xiao Yan had gathered at the five-element mountain, only to find the five-element beast had already disappeared. This unexpected turn left them feeling slightly uneasy. The five-element beast was supposed to always remain in its territory, unlike the other death beasts. It had no reason to leave, as it could endure even tribulations thanks to its five-element attributes, making it one of the most comfortable death beasts in existence. At the same time, the Heaven-Eye Giant Beast was nowhere to be found atop Tianmu Mountain, even after a thorough search. With no leads, the two groups abandoned their search and turned their attention to hunting other death beasts. They quickly noticed that each kill, however small, slightly increased their strength. The secret behind this phenomenon remained a mystery. Inside the Elder Council Hall of the Incense Pavilion, "Where are Mu Shuzi and Bear Yuan?" demanded a fierce-looking man standing at the head of the room, Elder Qing by his side. Reporting to the Hall Master, Mu Shuzi and Bear Yuan are stationed at Falling Spirit Mountain. The moment anything happens, they will notify us immediately, an elder responded respectfully. Good. If things go south, there's no reason for Falling Spirit Mountain to exist anymore, the man declared. This Hall Master was none other than the current leader of the Earth Hall. Yes, Hall Master. The other elders nodded in agreement. Falling Spirit Mountain had served as an excellent trial ground for the Incense Pavilion, but each time, it inevitably led to some form of casualty. The Incense Pavilion had sent experts multiple times, but the cause of death always pointed back to the mountain. Though they had yet to uncover the exact reason, everyone suspected Falling Spirit Mountain had something to do with it. If anything happens to my daughter, Xiao Yan, Mu Shuzi, I will hold you personally accountable, the Hall Master growled, before storming out. Back at the peak of Boundless Mountain, the battle continued. Damn it! The massive body of the Heaven-Eye Giant Beast was now riddled with wounds, as was the three-tailed demon fox. The Heaven-Eye Giant Beast glared at the spirit of Falling Spirit Mountain with its countless eyes, its body marked with deep gashes. Even the flawless, jade-like face of the three-tailed demon fox showed traces of blood. This guy, the Heaven-Eye Giant Beast muttered, casting a glance toward Nightcat, who stood behind the three-tailed demon fox. Nightcat had once saved the fox, and even with the fox's wild nature, it wouldn't abandon her. With the five-element beast watching closely from the sidelines, the Heaven-Eye Giant Beast could only focus on the fox. As expected from the spirit of Falling Spirit Mountain, the three-tailed demon fox said, its demonic eyes locking onto the spirit of Falling Spirit Mountain. You two have grown stronger, the spirit replied calmly, but now that I've awakened, it's time for you both to return to dust. The rules of Falling Spirit Mountain are my creation. Do you really think I'll let you rewrite them so easily? She said, her voice filled with authority. Huh? The three-tailed demon fox laughed maniacally. Rewrite the rules? The strong make the rules. If you want to change them, all you need is enough power. There was a hint of madness in its voice. Three-tail, the spirit of Falling Spirit Mountain said, her tone turning cold. I saved you once because of your pure heart, but now I see you've been blinded by something else. The power of Falling Spirit Mountain? As this mysterious force emerged, both the Heaven-Eye Giant Beast and the five-element beast visibly shrank, their bodies collapsing under the sudden weight that bore down on them. It's finally here. The power of Falling Spirit Mountain. Sensing the immense strength of this force, the three-tailed demon fox's eyes gleamed with an eerie light. You! The spirit of Falling Spirit Mountain furrowed its brow, feeling something utterly inconceivable. After all, it was the true ruler of this land. How could this being possibly escape its control? Surprised, aren't you? The three-tailed demon fox, unhurried and calm, stepped toward the spirit of falling Spirit Mountain, a dangerous smile playing on its lips. The three-tailed demon fox? How can it resist the power of falling Spirit Mountain? That's impossible. What is it up to? Could it have the five-element beast and heaven-eye giant beast, struggling under the crushing force of the spirit of falling Spirit Mountain, exclaimed in disbelief. Falling Spirit Mountain was a vast plain, dotted with three towering mountain ranges, the five-element mountain range, the Tianmu Mountain, and the Boundless Mountain. Whether the mountains or the plains, all the death beasts born here relied on the mountain's deep mystery, and thus were all under the control of the spirit of falling Spirit Mountain. The spirit of falling Spirit Mountain ruled not just by the mountain's mysterious essence, but also through its control over the rare and elusive power of falling Spirit Mountain. This power granted dominion over the entire region. This creature's aura feels strange. What's going on? Even though the spirit of falling Spirit Mountain had unleashed its power, it couldn't affect the three-tailed demon fox at all, sparking a deep unease. Don't bother thinking about it. I'll answer your questions. First, yes, your power is indeed the power of falling Spirit Mountain, and you are its true ruler. But the suppression from this power only works on death beasts. For those who are part human, part beast, it has no effect. The three-tailed demon fox smirked. Part human, part beast? The spirit of falling Spirit Mountain frowned, clearly puzzled by this sudden revelation. That's right. When you rescued me long ago, a small trace of the mountain's power was embedded in my body. Over the past 100 years, as the Incense Pavilion kept sending disciples to train here, a few of them never left. And those who stayed behind became my best nourishment, the three-tailed demon fox sneered. This lunatic has been devouring humans. The heaven-eye giant beast was stunned. For death beasts, humans were entirely different beings. Consuming humans could easily lead to disastrous consequences. Through research and experiments, I eventually used the essence blood and magic cores of death beasts to transform myself. I shed my former existence, becoming part human, part beast. It was only after consuming humans that I realized the wonders of the outside world. So why should we limit ourselves to this place? The three-tailed demon fox suddenly released a surge of falling Spirit Mountain power, directing it straight toward the spirit of falling Spirit Mountain. Humph! The spirit of falling Spirit Mountain let out a cold snort, immediately dispersing the fox's attack with ease. Falling Spirit Mountain exists independently. Were it not for the intervention of the great powers from the Incense Pavilion years ago, there wouldn't even be any of you left. Yet now, you've gone so far as to kill and devour their disciples? The spirit of falling Spirit Mountain spoke with a hint of discontent. After awakening briefly hundreds of years ago, the spirit of falling Spirit Mountain had returned to slumber. Each awakening consumed a significant amount of power, and only through rest could it preserve its strength. No wonder the spirit of falling Spirit Mountain had been so adamant about protecting the disciples of the Incense Pavilion when they entered. There's a deeper connection here. The five-element beast mused from the side. Looks like the three-tailed demon fox is confident in its victory. The heaven-eye giant beast's voice grew heated, sensing an opportunity. If the three-tailed demon fox truly broke free from falling Spirit Mountain's control and entered the human realm, it could follow, too. That's far from certain. After all, the spirit of falling Spirit Mountain didn't earn that title for nothing. The five-element beast shook its head. Just wait, the show's about to begin, the heaven-eye giant beast said, its eyes glinting mysteriously. What are those two up to? Hidden nearby, Mu Yingying was baffled by the unfolding scene. At the peak of Boundless Mountain, the five-element beast and the heaven-eye giant beast were being crushed by the spirit's power, while the spirit of falling Spirit Mountain and the three-tailed demon fox stood in a deadlock. With the spirit of falling Spirit Mountain and its power in play, this should be decided soon, Qin Exine pondered aloud. Something feels off, Xiao Yan responded calmly, shaking his head. He could sense it clearly. The spirit of falling spirit mountain strength was far superior to the three-tailed demon foxes. The difference between the two was like night and day. Wait, something's coming from the three mountain ranges. In the next moment, Xiao Yan's eyes filled with alarm as he glanced past the three-tailed demon fox to something behind it. Using his soul power to pierce through the fox's furry back, he could see a dark, pulsating orb hidden within the flesh. Countless death beasts were heading toward them,